Hey guys, it's Ross going on Space Couch. Today we're going to be taking a look at Jyn Erso's spread in Women of the Galaxy. And here is the first page. Great scene there as she's facing off, I guess, against Director Krennic. Although I loved in the trailer where she's facing off against TIE Fighter. It's such a shame that didn't make it into the film, because that was an iconic moment in Star Wars. So, her quote, "The time to fight is now. War isn't funded by credits, it's paid for in lives. The galactic civil war exacts its cost without caring if the dead gave their lives in noble sacrifice. But we care, and it's what makes Jyn Erso and the team of rebels she leads to Scarif heroes." A defiant lawbreaker with a penchant for acerbic remarks, Jyn is a new kind of lead character for a different type of Star Wars movie. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story was the first standalone film in the galaxy far, far away, and in it we follow Jyn in stealing the plans for the evil Empire's dreaded superweapon, the Death Star, and transmitting them to the rebels. After Jyn and her team's success and sacrifice, Mon Mothma, who recruited Jyn, remembers her with kindness. "I cannot imagine who she would have become, but I think she would have been extraordinary." I think that's in one of the Star Wars volumes. The comic, that is, I mean. "She is extraordinary, but the fact that Jyn as a hero isn't a princess or a Force user makes her more accessible." The late producer Alison Shearmur understood Jyn's qualities. "What I love so much about Jyn Erso is that she's an imperfect female warrior, authentic and genuine, truthful and humble, strong and modern, without feeling contemporary. Oftentimes, Hollywood wants to see a strong woman apologise for not appreciating her life, or dedicate herself to figuring out why she's a certain way. What I love about Jyn is that hers isn't a story of wishing she'd made other life choices. This isn't an apology." Here is the next one. Picture of Jyn as a child, of course, on was it La Moon. You can see Director Krennic's ship in the background, and also some vaporators in there as well. The quote on that page is, "We can make a difference." The daughter of scientists Galen and Lyra Erso, Jyn, nicknamed Stardust by her father, moves from planet to planet as a child. Her father is an unwitting pawn in the Empire's scheme to use kyber crystals as weapons, and becomes distant and focused on his work. But her mother sees through Director Orson Krennic's lies. Her mother's awesome in the Catalyst novel. It really helped improve my viewing of Rogue One. Their family finds respite when they flee Coruscant and escape Imperial influences, but it doesn't last. Tracked down by Krennic, young Jyn watches as her mother is killed and her father is taken away by the Empire, but she manages to hide herself until Krennic and his troopers leave. When Rebel Cassian Andor later tells Jyn, "I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old," he thinks she doesn't understand what's driving him, but he has no idea that Jyn has been fighting her whole life. She's rescued at age 5 by Saw Gerrera, a family friend, and sheltered by him and his partisan group, extremists who are willing to endanger innocence if it means striking a blow to the Empire. Eager to help and a quick study, she soon becomes the go-to person on the crew for forging codes and documents. Years go by and Jyn carves out a new home and a new family for herself among the rebels, but it doesn't last. Jyn's true identity puts her at risk, and to protect her and himself, Saw leaves her behind. Being discarded by another parental figure shakes Jyn. She has to scrape for survival using aliases and staying on the move. But in Forces of Destiny, we see Jyn's spirit hasn't been hardened. She risks drawing unwanted attention to herself and helps a young girl get her pet Tuka cat back from Imperial officers. It's a small gesture, but to the girl who gets to hold her pet again, it's heroic. Despite her fugitive status and difficulties with trusting others, Jyn tells the girl her real name. Her compassion in this little moment, when no one's looking, reveals she hasn't given up on herself or on others. By the time the Rebel Alliance comes looking for her, Jyn's been arrested and has been sent to a labour camp. Did she commit a long list of crimes? Yes. Did those crimes target criminal and Imperial personnel? Yes. She's selective about who she cons, but Rebel General Draven isn't completely wrong when he points out to Mon Mothma that Jyn is only loyal to herself. It's not like she doesn't care about anyone or anything, but she's been looking after herself by keeping her head down and not feeling like she has the luxury of political opinions. That is, until the rebels come calling with a mission related to her father. And then we see the final image in her spread, and this is obviously the depository on Scarif. I think, is that Cassian in the background there, or is it Krennic? It's Cassian. So yes, that was an interesting thing. I enjoyed that sequence when they're trying to get the data tapes. What chance do we have? The question is, what choice? Is the quote on that page. And that speech did just feel like a little bit crowbarred in, because she hadn't quite earned the ability to say that. It just kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it, I think, in Rogue One. But I mean, still, it kind of basically worked. It was a little bit surprising coming from that character who's shown no sign of giving a damn about the galaxy's struggles, and now she wants to take them all down. But hey, Jyn doesn't assist the rebels for charitable reasons. Felicity Jones explains, ultimately, Jyn hates the Empire. She despises it. Whenever Jyn sees Imperial stormtroopers, she just wants to annihilate them, which was great fun to play. Bashing stormtroopers on the head without any feelings of guilt. That's the motivation behind so much of what she does. And also she wants to understand who her father was. That man is a little bit of a blank space for her at the beginning of the film. Jyn's hoping he's someone she can respect, that he's a good person despite what she has been told. Learning the truth about Galen Erso's efforts to trick the Empire and build a weakness into the Death Star gives Jyn hope. She understands her father didn't abandon her in order to advance within the Empire. He gave up his life and family to make the galaxy safer. This realisation changes Jyn to the core and pushes her from apathy to passionate action. Her father dies, but she knows she can carry on his work. The same woman who didn't find the rebellion worth her attention turns around and tries to convince Rebel Alliance High Command to take a chance on finding the Death Star plans and exploiting the trap Galen left. She reminds them, we have hope. Rebellions are built on hope. It's not enough to sway them to commit forces, but Jyn takes a small group and goes to Scarif anyway. She's not a military leader groomed to deliver eloquent speeches, but Jyn values her troops with her assurance and the opportunity to inflict a meaningful blow to the Empire. What was it? We'll take the next chance and the next chance until the chances are spent. Their mission is a success. Jyn and her team lose their lives in the process, but because of her resolve to complete what her father started, the tide of the galactic civil war begins to turn. A girl born to scientists in the Outer Rim finds the courage to do what few others will. She makes a difference in the universe. She gives the Rebel Alliance hope. And yes, I really liked Jyn's character. I mean, again, a few little writing flaws, as in her big speech comes out of nowhere based on what the character was like previously. But yeah, she was great. Unlikely she's going to turn up in the Cassian Andor series, but I'm sure in other media we will find out more about Jyn. And obviously we've seen some more in, say, Forces of Destiny, and no doubt there probably books, and there has been a book, in fact, wasn't there? And maybe there'll be a comic as well at some point. But for now, that's just what Women of the Galaxy has to say about Jyn Erso. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment or suggestion for a upcoming topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.